It's just a matter of few more hours. Then we will see the world, particularly the Chinese community, will be welcoming the year of the fire horse po, the year 2026 po. At the stroke of midnight mamaya po, then ganun na po. Ha? May malaking mga fireworks dito, not only in Malaysia, I suppose also in the Philippines and of course, China, no? China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and saan pa yun po, yun may mga Chinese community, then they are going to welcome the year of the fire horse po, year 2026. And hindi lang mga Chinese po, lahat tayo po, no? Because we also join me celebrate itong welcoming of the Chinese New Year. So, konting oras lang, then we are going to celebrate the welcoming of Kong Si Fa Chai. Dito po sa Malaysia, yes, of course, we are very excited. A lot of people are very excited, especially the Chinese communities po, no? Excited to meet the countdown po, mamayang gabi or tonight po, countdown for the 2026 Chinese New Year. And as early as this morning, when I met some of my friends, Chinese friends, Malay friends, and of course, kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito sa Kuala Lumpur po, I can already feel and hear the exchange of greetings po. Kong Si Fa Chai. Happy New Year po in Chinese. Kong Si Fa Chai. So, yan. But anyway, since it is February 16 now, Monday, I would like to welcome again each and every one of you. Lahat mga kababayan ko dito po sa Malaysia, West Malaysia, particularly dyan po sa Sabah, and very specific dyan po sa Kota Kinabalu, and of which I am based. Pero ngayon, nandito tayo sa Kuala Lumpur. I would like to welcome each and every one of you dito po sa programa. Senior citizens, super senior citizens, as well as overseas Filipino workers, kung nasaan man kayo, wherever you are, fellow kababayan, kaibigan, kapatid, countrymen ko dyan po sa Pilipinas, welcome na welcome kayo po dito sa programa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. Today, I'm going to touch some issues, very important issues po. And before giving you these video clips that I prepared to support ang topics that I'm going to touch, especially touching on Senator Marcoleta, wherein he challenged for a debate former or ex-Supreme Court Justice Carpio, Justice Antonio Carpio, of which Justice or ex-Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio also accepted the challenge made by Senator Marcoleta to debate on the issue of the West Philippine Sea. West Philippine Sea, that is one topic I'm going to touch. And of course, I will also be touching on the sabihin natin report itong co-perpetrators ni Tatay Digong, of which I mentioned earlier or yesterday ang mga pangalan po kagaya ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, Senator Bongo, Police Chief sino ba yun? Si Aldea, no? And many more. So, total is 8 of them po, no? The ICC has already announced the names, no? As co-perpetrators of the war against drugs made by former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. I'm going to touch on that. And of course, a little bit, I'm going to touch about the itong impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte po. Will it push through or will it not push through? You will know later on po because I'm going to give you itong sabihin natin interview or statement made by also a politician in the Philippines, and of course, ang political analyst dyan po sa Pilipinas, wherein they commented on the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. So later on yan po, lahat-lahat, and of course, I am going to share with you also another video clip. I hope I will still have time, na wherein si congressman who is now outstation, no? Si Congressman Leandro Leviste, reminding Filipinos po about ang problema natin, graft and corruption carried out by the administration. Several names mentioned already po, no? He mentioned, and I will share with you po ang statement ni Congressman Leandro Leviste. But in the meantime, before I give all these things po sa inyo, of which I believe a lot of people are excited, no? Excited na po to listen and see ang video clips ko po. Just prolong a little bit ang patient natin, because since at midnight, at the stroke of midnight mamaya po, we are going to welcome the Chinese New Year, no? 2026. I would like to share with you first muna ang spirit, the spirit of Chinese New Year dito po sa Malaysia po. Nandito po kung si Fachay. Please watch and listen itong video clip that I have prepared for all of us po. All of us. Lahat mga followers dito sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Let's watch and listen to this. Sandali po, watch and listen to this. And sana yan po. And nandito. Alright. Alright or left. Let's watch and listen to this.
Happy Chinese New Year! Hello, I'm Xiaoshan. Happy Chinese New Year! Let's celebrate together. Hello, I'm Xiaoji. I bring oranges. Let's eat together. Hello, I'm Xiaoday. Wishing you prosperity and good luck. Hello, I'm Xiaohe.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin, nakita natin po, no? 100%, 100%, 1,001, 100% po. Malaysia, starting, in fact, it started yesterday already. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, for 15 days po, will be very noisy po and you can hear the drums and, of course, performances of lion dancers po. Every corner po. Every corner for 14 or for 15 days because the last day of Chinese New Year, we call it Chap Gome po, and that will be, if I'm not mistaken, on March 3, if I'm not mistaken po. No? 15 days yan po ang celebration of Chinese New Year. And of course, tomorrow is holiday and some private companies, no? Private establishment will close their business for 2-3 days po. Kagaya sa amin, ang Daily Express, I just want to inform you, the independent newspaper in Sabah po, we call it the Daily Express po, we are not going to have a publication tomorrow because we are already off today, holiday. Tomorrow, there is no publication. Wednesday, no publication. And the newspaper will return to the street po only on Friday. Ibig sabihin, in other words po, we, the workers or staff or the editorial staff of Daily Express, we will only start working again on Thursday po. So we have today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 days holiday for the Chinese New Year celebration po. I would like to greet on behalf of my family, si Mary, si Saint, my son-in-law, si Swib, my granddaughter, si Rhea, and of course, ang daughter ko po, si Nikki, and ang son ko po si Marco, as well as ang youngest daughter namin, si Shane. We wish all of you Kong Si Fa Chai. Hope you will enjoy itong celebration natin for this year. and all-round year po. I hope it will be prosperous sa mga buhay natin po, and we will enjoy good health and more wealth po and blessings. Ha? So yun po, Chinese New Year, Kong Si Fan Chai. Alright, so this time around, since I mentioned earlier, I'll be talking about the challenge made by Senator Marcoleta, or Rodante Marcoleta, to the ex-Supreme Court Justice, si Antonio Carpio po. And regarding the issue ng West Philippine Sea po, I prepared some video clips for all of you po. So at least you will see and hear ano talaga po ang issue. You will understand the issue between this natin po, ex-Supreme Justice Antonio Carpio and incumbent Senator si Rodante Marcoleta. Nagiging hot issue ito po sa Pilipinas, and everybody is watching. The challenge was accepted by Antonio Carpio, but we still don't have any feedbacks coming from the side of Senator Rodante Marcoleta po, no? Rodante Marcoleta. Although earlier I heard that Senator Rodante Marcoleta was saying there should not be any condition, no? There should not be any condition when we talk about the debate that he proposed, he challenged kay Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio. Anyway, sige lang po. Let's see and let's listen itong video clip that I have prepared for all of you po, no? For all of you. Let's watch and listen to this. Saan na yun? Nandito. And let's watch and listen to this.
Marcoleta can charge me with treason. Dapat, ang gagawin niya, i-amend niya muna yung Article 140 ng Revised Penal Code para treason can be committed during peacetime.
Justice,
At saka, baguhin niya rin yung Constitution na, kasi sa Constitution, you can make a criminal law retroactive. Ex post facto legislation yan. So, baguhin niya muna yung Constitution para i-repeal yung ex post facto provision. At saka baguhin niya yung Constitution, i-repeal yung provision na we adhere to general principles of international law. At saka dapat yung i-convince yun ng President at saka Senate na mag-withdraw tayo sa UNCLOS. Dahil dun sa UNCLOS, we agree that ang ating territorial sea ay hanggang 12 nautical miles lang. So dapat gawin niyo muna lahat ito bago niya ma-charge kami ng... At saka i-convince niyo yung Supreme Court na lahat ng mga members of the Congress, the senators and the congressman who passed the Republic Act 9522 at saka yung presidente who signed it are committed treason. Convince niya. At saka yung lahat ng mga justice ng Supreme Court, unanimous sila eh. Unanimous kami noon.
Opo, interesado ba kayo?
Alright, yun po. That's the reaction of ex-Justice Antonio Corona on the thread issued by Senator Rodante Marcoleta that he will be filing a complaint of treason against Carpio. Sabi naman ni Carpio, according to ex-Justice Carpio, he cannot do that because treason is only during wartime. During peacetime, hindi pwede itong treason po, no? It's only wartime. So, definitely, si Senator Rodante Marcoleta will be answering itong mga statements made by Carpio, no? Former Justice Carpio. Anyway, mayroon pa tayo dito video clip about Justice Carpio, no? Justice Antonio Carpio, and this time around, let's watch and listen to this po, no? To this video clip. Another one.
At sa issue ng West Philippine Sea, handa rin po yung host ng Philippine Parcel Sea.
Tungkol sa Philippine Sea. Hold on, ha? Medyo na ano tayo dito. Anyway, you hold on.
At sa issue ng West Philippine Sea, handa rin po yung host ng Philippine Parcel Sea, yun yung debating yan.
Yes, I accept the terms of the Philippine Bar Association. May terms sila. It will be a formal debate. Papayag ako kahit saan.
At wala po mga kondisyon.
No, ang alam mo, pag debate, may proposition.
Okay.
May affirmative at negative. So pag may affirmative at negative, yun. At saka ang topic dapat is there, yung sinasabi kasi ni wala raw West Philippine. Topic is should be whether there is legally a West Philippine Sea. At saka sinasabi ni Marcoleta, the Calayan Island Group are for islands are located outside our
Nasa high seas daw po.
malinaw yun. So, one of the subtopic will be whether the entire form part of Philippine territory, even if some parts are outside our exclusive economic zone. Yung
Justice,
mga issue na ni-raise ka, yun dapat. Para matuto yung publiko. This is to educate everybody. Dahil hindi pwede yung isang senador, sinasabi niya, public, that walang West Philippine Sea. Legally, walang West Philippine Sea. That is just the imagination of some people. Okay, let's debate on that. Whether there is a legal definition of West Philippine Sea under Philippine law.
Justice, para
Okay, yun po. Sabi ni ex-Justice Carpio, let's debate on that. Alright, he accepted ang challenge of Senator Rodante Marcoleta for a debate on the issue of West Philippine Sea. The first video clip that I have shared with you po is talking about itong treason, that Senator Marcoleta is threatening to file a case, a treason case against Carpio po, against Carpio because of his earlier ruling and mga statements po ni Carpio. And the second video clip is he is accepting, Carpio is accepting, has accepted ang challenge ni Senator Dante Marcoleta. Maganda yun po. Let's see po kung matuloy ba yan. Kung matuloy ba yan. And don't worry, if ever matuloy yan po, nandito lang ang Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, I'll make sure that you will be properly informed. In the meantime, mayroon pa tayo, isa pa dito po, ang video clip.
Ibang, there are two disputes in the South China Sea, the maritime dispute and the territorial dispute. The maritime dispute governed by UNCLOS. Territorial dispute principles of international law. Because of that, within your exclusive economic zone, there can be territories that do not belong to you, that belong to other countries. And there are also territories beyond the exclusive economic zone that can belong to countries. Hindi pwede ito. What is saying that dahil outside the exclusive economic zone natin yung apat na isla ng Kalayaan Group, hindi na natin maklaim yun. Mali yun.
Opo.
You can claim even beyond your exclusive economic zone, offshore islands ang tawag dyan.
At nasa batas na po natin at meron ng elected officials sa mga lugar na yon, ano ho?
Yes, 1734 pa, nasa Pedro Murillo Galante map na yung Los Baos de Paragua. Spratlys yun. Yung
Okay.
Calayan Island Group, claim natin yan, 1734 pa.
Mahaba-haba po talaga at masalimot.
Okay, yan po, narinig natin na ang three video clips we saw and we heard ang statement ni former or ex-Supreme Council Justice si Antonio Carpio po. This time around, let's go to another topic and let's hear this report on the co-perpetrators of Tatay Digong. Itong issue po, mainit na mainit dyan po sa Pilipinas. And you deserve, no? Ang mga followers ko po, you deserve to know what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas when it comes to this issue. No? When it comes to this issue. So, let me share with you po. Let me share with you itong video clip. Sandali po, ha? Sandali. Saan na yun? Nandito.
Inilabas na dokumento na isinusulong ng mga human rights organizations ang agarang pag-aresto kina Senador Bongo, Senador Bato de la Rosa, at iba pang individual na tinukoy bilang umano'y co-perpetrators ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa kanyang kasong crimes against humanity na inihain ng International Criminal Court laban sa kanya. Nananawagan ng International Coalition for Human Rights in the Philippines na mag-issue agad ang ICC ng arrest warrant laban sa mga sangkot na individual para humarap sila sa pagdinig kasama si Duterte. Para naman sa Duterte Panagutin Network, ang paglabas ng karagdagang impormasyon sa kaso ay nilalagdad ng systematic at organized na katangian ng mga pagpatay at nagpapatibay sa pangangailangang panagutin ang lahat ng sangkot. Sa inilabas na dokumento ng ICC noong February 13, isiniwalat ang umano'y co-conspirators sa war on drugs. Bukod kina De La Rosa at Go, pinangalanan din si dating Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre at ilang dating mga Philippine National Police Chiefs.
Yan po, narinig natin, no? Ang report dyan po sa mainstream media sa Manila. And of course, yung lumabas itong pangalan, mga pangalan po, 8 of them po, that includes Senator De La Rosa, Bongo, Albayalde, sino-sino pa yun po, no? Basta 8 sila yan po. And si Attorney Aguirre also denied that he has something to do with this, sabihin natin, itong war on drugs, no? War on drugs, and ngayon po nandyan yung kaso po, ang AJK, and ang case ni Tatay Digong, yon sabihin natin, crime against humanity. And because of this po, he is now under the custody of the International Criminal Court, of which he was arrested or surrendered by the Marcos administration po, no? Marcos administration last year, and he was brought to the Hague, dyan po sa detention center ng International Criminal Court, and he will be facing hearing his charges po sa February 23. Itong month na ito po, no? Itong month na ito, magtuloy na talaga po ang hearing of charges ni Tatay Digong dyan po sa ICC. Okay, si Congressman, very popular congressman, opposition po, no? I suppose you know him. Don't know. I suppose you know him. And let's listen ang mga statements niya po regarding ang mga hot issues po dyan sa Pilipinas. I will not tell you now ang mga ang issues that he's talking. Mabuti pa po you listen and you will understand what he is talking about po. Nandito po ang video clip that I prepared para sa ating lahat, sa inyong lahat po, so that you will know what is really happening dyan po sa Pilipinas. Let's watch and listen to this during a talk show by DZMM yata ito po, na? DZMM. And sa congressman po, you will see his face now. And you listen ang mga statements he made po. Si very aggressive congressman natin po.
Itong mga co-perpetrators, kung tawagin ano po ang significance?
He's talking about the co-perpetrators dito po. And let's watch and listen to this.
Itong mga co-perpetrators, kung tawagin ano po ang significance nito? Dahil actually, yung inilabas nila, di ba, matagal na po yun eh. So, does it mean na ito ay preparasyon na? Ito ba ay nagsisignify na maaaring magpalabas na rin ng warrants of arrest ng ICC laban doon sa tinatawag na co-perpetrators?
Una-una, ilagay natin sa konteksto ito. Itong dokumento ay galing sa ICC prosecution pre-trial chamber ng International Criminal Court. Batay doon sa mangyayaring confirmation of charges hearing kay dating Pangulong Duterte.
What you listen now, listening now is the audio of Congressman Diokno po, ha? Don't forget, Congressman Diokno.
That's the redacted version, meaning that makikita na natin yung mga pangalan. Kaya lumitaw na yung pangalan ng walong co-perpetrators. But, ano yan, sinyales yan na nasa radar na itong walong ito kasama na si Senator Bato de la Rosa, si Bongo. At it also signifies that the process for them may begin now kasi napangalanan na sila eh.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, parang devil tatano. Dahil sa lumabas na, napangalanan na, it means na kukulong na po yung mga investigasyon laban sa kanila.
Yes, at saka yung pagkalagay kasi ng pagkalabas kasi ng pangalan nila, nakalagay doon, they were part of the hierarchy of the war on drugs. Ibig sabihin, kasama sila sa struktura ng pagpapatupad ng war on drugs ni Pangulong Duterte. At ibig sabihin, no, yung salita ng co-perpetrator, ibig sabihin ay kasama sila na nasasangkot sa nakafile ng na charges na crimes against humanity na laban kay Pangulong Duterte.
Okay.
Pero ito, gusto ko lang i-emphasize sa lahat ng nakikinig at nanonood na ito ay proseso ng justisya. Ang dami kasing mga naging biktima ng war on drugs na hindi talaga makakamit ng justisya dito sa atin. Kasi mga mahihirap lang sila. Wala naman silang kakayahan at ang kalaban nila ay sa pinakamalalaking mga opisyalis natin ng huling administrasyon. Kaya nga tayo sumali sa ICC para sa ganyan sitwasyon ay meron pa rin may makukuha pa rin justisya ang mga biktima.
Does it automatically mean, Kong Chel, na because kasama na yung pangalan nila as co-perpetrators or co-accused, na magkakaroon na rin sila ng arrest warrant mula sa ICC?
Dadaan pa ng proseso yan tulad ng proseso na nangyari kay dating Pangulong Duterte. So wala pa naman tayo doon. We will know kasi magpa-file ang prosecutor ng request for issuance of warrant. Parang na rin yung nangyayari dito sa atin sa Osgado natin. At magkakaroon ng ruling ng pre-trial chamber ng International Court kung dapat ba yung ebidensya na maglabas ng warrant laban sa kanila.
Alright, yan po, na? Yan ang audio ni Congressman Diokno po, no? Regarding itong issue ang co-accused. Sila De La Rosa, sila Bongo, Albayalde, si Aguirre, so forth and so on. Basta 8 yon sila, no? 8 yon sila. Okay, they mentioned something about arrest warrant of arrest. So, ano kaya po, no? Paano kung maglabas na ang ICC ang warrant of arrest sa mga taong na ito po? Will the Philippine government accept it and take action just like what they did to former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte? Or it will be a totally different story na po? It has to pass to our court, Philippine court po. And the Philippine court will make a decision. Diyan po. So, mayroon tayo dito. I have a video clip po dito. And let's listen to Senator Ping Lacson when it comes to this issue po. Senator Ping Lacson. Let's watch and listen to this po. Hold on. Hold on po.
President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson says any move by the International Criminal Court against Duterte allies and senators Bato de la Rosa and Bongo must go through Philippine courts. Lacson said that even if the ICC or a foreign court issues an arrest warrant, it should first be referred to local courts, which will then decide whether to implement it. He added that De La Rosa and Co. should be given the opportunity to avail of all legal remedies, stressing that Philippine judicial processes must be respected. Lacson also said the Senate may discuss possible options, including whether to extend assistance to the two senators, with Senate President Tito Soto possibly calling a caucus to consult members. For now, Lacson said it is too early to determine the Senate's next move, noting that the ICC has yet to issue a bill of particulars detailing the specific charges and possible penalties.
Okay, klarong-klaro ko is very clear what Senator Ping Lacson was saying. In the event there will be arrest warrant issued by ICC, no? ICC, then this time it has to pass through our Philippine court po. Philippine court po. So di maganda yun po, no? Maganda yun po. It won't happen just like what happened po kay Tatay Digong, wherein diretso po nag-act ang Philippine government natin under the leadership of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Although earlier, he repeatedly, itong presidente natin, si Bongbong Marcos, repeatedly said, no, that he will not recognize ang ICC po, ang ICC, because we have our functional korte dito po. But at the end of the day po, everybody were surprised, wherein ang gobyerno natin, Marcos administration, at the end of the day, succumb and assisted ang ICC to surrender surrender si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to the custody of the International Criminal Court. And because of that po, karamihan ng mga tao, mga Filipinos po, are not happy. And of course, you cannot blame the Filipinos, lost trust or confidence sa gobyerno po because of the things what is happening po. Not only what happened to Tatay Digong, but also it aggravated because of these flood control projects and mga involvement, not only contractors, private contractors, but this time around po, involving trillions of money, taxpayers' money, and ang mga pangalan lumabas po are those people elected, kagaya senators, congressmen, appointed government officials sa mga government department and agencies po, all involved in this graft and corruption anomalous deals, especially dyan po sa Department of Public Works and Highways. And until now po, the Filipinos have been shouting that we want to see masterminds to be behind bars, but despite of many promises, repeated promises made by no less than our President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, nothing happened po. Hindi satisfactory ang mga action coming from the, sabihin natin, coming from the administration. Coming from the administration. Mayroon tayo dito, no? I just want to, I don't know if this is the one. About impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. About impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. Let's watch and listen to this. I hope this is the one, Medyo duda tayo dito po. Nandito po. Let's watch this report about the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte. Some people are saying it will not materialize po. It will not materialize. Whether it will materialize or not, nandito ang TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. We'll closely monitor the situation dyan po sa Pilipinas on this issue so that ang mga kababayan, kapatid, kaibigan ko dito sa Malaysia and mga overseas Filipino workers kung saan man kayo sa ibang nasyon and you are tuning in ang TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, you will be properly informed. Basta wag lang tayo kalimutan, don't forget to TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico is in Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow po. Yun lang ang hingi ko sa inyo po. And the rest of it, let me handle and I'll make sure that you will be informed of what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas. Dyan po sa Pilipinas. Alright? So, alright, let me share with you itong video clip.
Magdadalawang linggo na, buhat ng may isang pang-impeachment complaint sa Kamara
President Sara Duterte. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa na ikakalendaryo para maisama sa agenda of the day sa regular session ng Kamara. Tingin ng political analyst na si Froilan Calilong, maaring may kinalaman ito sa mga numero sa Senado.
I think they're really looking at the numbers right now, and for as long as wala pa talagang sigurado na tatawid from the minority to the majority, hindi sila gagalaw muna.
Sa kasalukuyang komposisyon ng Senado, 15 ang nasa majority. Siyam naman ang nasa minorya na karamihan ay taga-suporta ng mga Duterte. Pero nakasaad sa batas, kailangan ng 2/3 ng Senado ang sasang-ayon sa conviction ng isang impeachable official na kung susumahin, 16 na boto ang kailangan. Maaresto man ng ICC at makulong man aniya sina Senators Bato de la Rosa at Bongo, isama na pati ang mga nasasangkot at iniimbestigahan kaugnay ng flood control scandal na sina Joel Villanueva at Jigoy Estrada, maaari pa rin silang bumoto hanggat wala pang pinal na conviction ng korte sa kanila.
Sa ilalim po kasi ng ating batas, a senator under arrest can technically retain yung kanyang seat unless may conviction na with finality o kaya siya ay nag-resign o na-expelled by a 2/3 vote. So in the short term, the Senate will remain intact.
Naniniwala naman si Professor Calilong na uusad sa full impeachment trial sakaling umakyat sa Senado ang impeachment case ni VP Sara. Pero kung sakaling umabot man niya ang botohan sa kung iko-convict o hindi ang VP, mas malamang na nga-acquit ito dahil hindi aabot sa 16 ang boto para i-convict si Duterte. Magugulitan noong unang bahagi ng 20th Congress, 19 mang bumoto para i-archive ang naunang impeachment sa VP. Kasama na rito ang karamihang nasa kasalukuyang mayorya ngayon, gaya ni na Majority Leader Mick Zubiri, Senators Loren Legarda, J.B. Ejercito, Sherwin Gatchalian, Pia Cayetano, Lito Lapid, Erwin at Rafi Tulfo, magkapatid na Mark at Camille Villar.
I highly doubt it if they could still muster enough strength to actually file another impeachment complaint by next year. Kasi sa ngayon pa lang, nararamdaman na ng ating mga kababayan, may impeachment fatigue na po tayo Mawawala na ng traction yan because the President is already entering the lame duck phase of his presidency.
Umaasa naman si Calilong na hindi hahantong ang administrasyon sa pananakot sa ilang nasa minorya na may kinakaharap na investigasyon sa flood control scandal para himuking lumipat sa mayorya o bumoto para sa conviction kapalit ng pagbinbin ng kanilang kaso. Para sa Agenda Weekend, Dexter Ganibe, Abante.
Alright, yun po. Narinig natin po ang observation ng isang si professor. Sino yan? Professor Froilan Calilong, no? Political analyst yan po dyan sa Pilipinas. Sabi niya po, medyo alang-alang itong impeachment complaint or case against Inday Sara Duterte po because one, it is a politically maneuvered, no? And it is a game of number. Even though magpass na ito po sa Kongreso and then brought to the attention of the Senate. So when we talk about convicting Inday Sara Duterte during the impeachment trial po, medyo mahirap po because even, let's say for example, si Jigoy Estrada will be having face a case, no? A case po dito sa flood control projects, including ito si Joel Villanueva pa, no? Kung maski na si Senator Bato de la Rosa, si Bongo ko, at for as long as they are not yet convicted po, they're still, ang boto nila po is still recognized. And to convict Inday Sara Duterte's impeachment trial po, they need, according to this professor, they need something like 16 votes. And mahirap yun makuha ng 16 votes. But anyway, let's see po what will happen next. No? Let's see what will happen next po. And who knows, after the Congress will say, okay na itong impeachment, the latest impeachment complaint na tatlo yata yun po, no? Against VP Sara, kung mag-approve na ang Kongreso, impeach her. And it will brought to the Senate din po, no? Sa Senado. And we don't know if it will also come into reality po, no? Let's see lang po. Let's see. And kung abot na itong impeachment complaint sa Senado, there is also a threat, a fear, a rumor, marites po, that if the Congress will pass and bring this impeachment complaint sa Senado po, then there is a big possibility na baka mayroon daw po change of leadership sa Senado. In other words, change the Senate President, and that will be Senate President Tito Soto. Earlier, we heard about the possibility or rumors that Soto will be replaced by a female senator, and that is Senator Loren Legarda. But it did not materialize po for reasons still blurred sa mga tao po. But nandyan pa din yun po ang rumors, ang stories po circulating. Anything can happen po. Anything can happen. But before I'm going to conclude itong programa natin, for lastly po, I just wanted to, because I received some messages from mga followers natin dito sa TikTok po. Sabi, Sir, what's happening kay Congressman Leandro Leviste, ang anak ni Loren Legarda po. Nandito ang latest sa video clip na mayroon tayo po kay Leviste. Leviste is wala po sa he is out of the country po, out of the country. And nandito po. Let's watch and listen this video clip.
Katotohanan para sa kinabukasan ng ating bayan. Ang Pilipinas ngayon ay nasa ilalim ng de facto martial law. Hindi man deklarado, pero nararamdaman. Marami ay tahimik dahil sa takot na makasuhan, dahil nakikita na ang mga kritiko ng administrasyon ang mga unang sinasampahan ng kaso, habang ang ibang mga kaalyado ay hinahayaan. Dahil dito, ang ibang mga batas ay inaaprubahan ng walang debate at may mga bilyon-bilyon pisong mga budget na hindi kinakwestiyon. Kasama dito ang mga pambayad para sa ibang mga media at social media personalities at mga troll farms na nagpapalaganap ng fake news at umaatake sa mga kritiko ng administrasyon. Ganito din sa panahon ng martial law ni dating Presidente Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Ngunit maraming mga miyembro ng oposisyon, civil society at pribadong sektor ay lumaban sa diktatura. Kahit maraming ikinulong, umalis ng bansa at ginipit ang negosyo, hindi sila sumuko. Ako po ay naniniwala na ang mga nagsasalita ngayon ay magtatagumpay din laban sa korupsyon katulad ng mga nauna sa atin, at ang mga nananatiling tahimik ay maaalala bilang mga kasabwat sa pinakamalaking korupsyon sa kasaysayan ng ating bansa. Umaasa rin po ako na ang mga nagsasalita tungkol sa korupsyon sa gobyerno ay poprotektahan ng taong bayan at gagamitin nila itong pagkakataon upang ibahagi ang katotohanan para sa kinabukasan ng ating bayan.
Alright, yan po ang congressman, neophyte congressman, batang-bata po, and fearless, aggressive, all out against graft and corruption. Kagaya din po another congressman who's very vocal, and they keep on suspending him po as a congressman, and I'm referring to no other than Congressman Kiko Barzaga, our Congressman Meow Meow, no? Na itong dalawa po, no, and few more others, no, mga neophytes, mga young congressmen natin po, they are there all out without fear, exposing ang mga unhealthy activities carried out by their colleagues who have been in the position for quite a long time na po, first, second, third term, or naka-isang round na po dyan po sa Kongreso. Yet, nothing happened except enriching themselves. I would like to say thank you pala kay Congressman Kiko Barzaga for also following itong Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, itong channel natin po. Thank you very much. And nandito lang kami, Kong. We are watching you. I'm watching ang mga updates ni Kiko Barzaga, and so far so good. We are happy. The people in Malaysia, particularly in Sabah po, we are happy with your performance, and we are sad that there are congressmen who are against you and trying to pin you down. Anyway, the truth hurts, and fight lang po, no? Laban lang tayo, Congressman Kiko Barzaga. So, siguro hanggang dito na lang muna ang programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico, on a Monday afternoon. And it's just a matter of few more days, a few more hours, then we are going to see the sky lighted with different colors of fireworks po. Midnight mamaya po, because we are going to, the world will once again welcome or usher the coming of the Chinese New Year 2026, and that is the year of the fire horse. Fire horse po, in other words, changes. Ibig sabihin, may mga changes po during the year 2026. So let's prepare for the changes po, so that mag-change din ang buhay natin for the best, for the better, and not for the worst. No? So, once again, si Nico Fabian, wag natin kalimutan na tomorrow, use ang red natin because Chinese New Year. So, advance Kong Si Fa Chai to all of you. With this, Nico Fabian would like to say, once again, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, and Philippines, God bless us all. Enjoy po tayo, and let's welcome the Chinese New Year 2026, Year of the Horse, later midnight po. Bye! I love you and see you in my next episode.